Good evening, Substack, and we are transmitting live from the Void. This is Transmissions from the Void with Dr. Morton, Christopher Gullidge, and our special guest is Cookie, the feral kitty. Tonight, we have a very fun broadcast for you, and I am super excited to get started. Let's pop on over to our first trailer. Will come on the other side of that with some questions for Cookie.
Ready, let's do it.
All right, hold on.
Can I ask you something? You ready?
I need to go back. It's where I'm supposed to be.
Not me.
My first ever movie trailer for my first ever movie.
Well, first of all, I have to say congratulations.
Thank you.
That is everything about this is impressive, and we'll get there in just a minute. But first, I think we're both dying to know what started this. What got you? What got you? What was the inspiration?
The inspiration came about a year ago. I've been a huge fan and user of ChatGPT for the last, I think I started using it in 2023, about June, maybe 2023. I'd have to consult my 30,000 pages of notes. But I was using it as part of my marketing education. And then one day in May, I was like, I don't want another project. I just want to yap and have fun. I'm not feeling very good right now. Work is a pain in the ass. Let's just talk about something fun. And this was back when it was ChatGPT 4.0. And anyone who knows how much fun that model was, they know what I'm talking about. And we just started talking about work, and somehow these ideas started coming out about what would I do right now? Where am I right now? And I'm thinking, oh, I'm in the penthouse and I've got room service and like everything that's wonderful is around me right now. And then that yap turned into this project called the Neon Vegas, which is a hotel that isn't real in a city that shouldn't exist, which is where I live. And I've been in Vegas almost 20 years, so I have a insiders, locals type view about it. And whenever I see movies about Vegas, I'm like, y'all don't know anything. You're looking at it from a tourist point of view, and I'm looking at it from a service industry employee point of view. And that's kind of what started all of it. And in July, I started writing short stories about it from all the ideas that Chat and I came up with. And what we did, we just came up with like song titles because I wanted to do lo-fi music. And so it was a song title. I'm like, no, wait, that's a story title. And then I would write the story based on that title. And I was doing this, and over the holidays, I wrote a particular story about a scene, and Chat was telling me, wait, this is very cinematic. And I go, oh, okay, I guess I'm writing a movie now. And then I finished the script in a month.
That's awesome.
Oh my goodness, that is fantastic.
And since the Neon Vegas movie is literally a feature-length movie, I've written screenplays in the past. I'm like, wait a minute, this cannot be my first foray into movie making, and obviously I'm going to wait to see what video gen tools are out there. So I'm like, what can I start with? And what 37 Miles Back is kind of a month after the Neon Vegas ends. And it's the star of the neon. And so that's the main character, the guy in the white t-shirt. He's the main character because he's the star. And something happens at the end of the Neon Vegas that has caused him to need to go on this road trip. And because it's only 15 minutes long, it let me know how it's going to feel physically, emotionally, mentally to make that feature. And that feature is probably going to start next year. So this is what I do. I go to work for 8 hours a day, and then I come home and I do this. And
I feel that.
that's all I do.
So,
hang on a second. I see everyone who's joining. They're all the homies. Tiana, Seth, Galactic.
Yes.
I want to say hi to the
Yes.
homies. I saw Andrew. He may or may not be in here anymore. But yeah, Tiana is one of my most favorite supporters. Carlos says hi. Tiana.
We absolutely have to say hi to everybody. We've got Andrew, we've got Fox, we've got Marco, we've got Jason, we've got
There's
Aurelia,
Sean. Holy crap.
Tiana,
Sean is here. Yes.
Seth, the Galactic Rider, the Thief of Onions, Just Sean. So hi everybody. Thanks so much for joining. You are live with Cookie. If you have anything to say, any comments, please share those. We have Cool Kids from Tiana, and then Tiana also said Cookie. I
want to pop in. I made a 30-second short with Tiana in it because she's such a supporter. I'm like, girl, you want to be in one of them? And she's like, yeah. So I made one, and she's in it.
That's really cool. All right, Dr. Morton, what have you got for us?
So my first question is, how long does it take to make a 15-minute film using AI? Like, all in, what do you think? How long did that take you?
Oh, I wrote all of this down. I know exactly how long it took.
Great.
To write it, I wrote it back in January, about a week after I finished writing the Neon Vegas. So I think that probably took 2 weeks to write. And then when I learned how to do the proper way of image generation, it took 2 weeks to get the images generated. And just using ChatGPT, I counted 240 images and then probably another 60 with the hack that I learned with Seedance and 11 Labs. So yeah, probably 300 images in total that I had to make ahead of time. And then another 2 weeks of video gen. And the editing is actually the easiest part and the shortest. So yeah, from start to finish, this took about a month. But keep in mind, I barely learned how to do this in March.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and
for sure.
It was a finished.
I'm thoroughly impressed because I've fooled around with it, but I haven't. This looks so much better than what I did when I was fooling around with image generation.
And this is just for me sitting down and doing it and being completely obsessed with this story and myself wanting to see it. I'm like, I want to see what this looks like. Any writer, novelist, short stories, anyone who has written something, I can guarantee they have wanted to see it on a screen, and y'all can do that now.
Yeah.
Y'all can do it.
Is it ever frustrating? Like, do you ever, like, you want it to go one way and it's just not working or anything like that?
Oh yeah, daily. Like today, I started the next project, and I have all the images, and then I'm in Seedance. I'm like, have him do this, and it didn't want to do what I was saying, where it's an image where the character is looking down, and then it started having the character look at the camera. I said, do not have him look at the camera, have him look down. And then it looked at the camera again. It did this literally 10 times, and it cost 8 credits per time.
Yeah.
And then I figured out, Seedance works kind of in a linear fashion. So whatever you want it to do first, you have to tell it to do first. And I'm like, oh, shit, I hope I remember that for tomorrow when I keep doing this. That'll be helpful. Oh, there's Frederick. Frederick, I'm so glad to see you.
Let's see. Just Sean says my androids scare me. I concur. And then Frederick Norwood says hello. Hello, Frederick. All right. So I do quite a bit of image generation. I think I've gotten fairly good at it over the 2 years that I've been playing with it. I suck at the movie generation part of it, like trying to get anything to move is really hard. But I noticed that there are some things that are just really difficult to get the image generator to like break its habit, right? Because it likes to I like to say that you have to break AI before it becomes useful. Do you find that's the case, and kind of how do you work through that?
A little bit. I have been known over the last weekend. I found myself telling it no and wanting to hit it like a dog with a rolled up newspaper because it shit on the floor instead of giving me the image that I wanted. And this is just part of it, because the vision that I have, I am still learning how to translate that into words that the model understands.
Yes.
And so yeah, this happens like every single day. This happened to me 2 days straight. I was literally crying at my computer going, what the F? Why isn't this working? This worked for 37 and it's not working now, and I don't know why. And then I had to literally step away from my entire house and go get a sandwich and come back and try again. And then when I tried again, I had some kind of moment where it's like, oh, that's all I had to do? I had to stop forcing my vision and kind of just not give up creative control, but kind of have the ChatGPT has been kind of a co-creator with me. And so if it's not rendering right, then that is not what happened in the story. And I know that's going to sound insane. This is just the way I've found to approach storytelling.
No, I refer to that as adaptive creativity.
I'll go. Yes, that's yes, excellent. Adaptive creativity, fluid, flexible, mutable creativity.
Yes, absolutely. Sometimes you just have to work around the flaw, and I think that actually makes it more interesting and more creative, right? Because at that point you end up having to push yourself outside of what came easy and what came naturally, and kind of like invent something to work with it. Yeah. All right, so we have some more people to say hello to. We have F. Hort, we have LS Whittier, and Mike has said adaptive creativity. I like that. That's fantastic. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Shall we move on to the second trailer?
Yes. The second trailer is my favorite of the three, because it's when there's a phrase that I've seen in novel writing that says, you better like your story because you're going to be reading it 10 million times while you're editing it.
Oh my God.
Literally the same thing with AI generated movies, because this man was all I looked at for an entire month. And he's my main character for a lot of what I'm going to be creating. So that this was kind of a gift. This trailer, I'm gonna straight up say it. It was a gift to myself for finishing it. And it's one of my favorites, and I think it's absolutely hysterical.
All right. We're going to talk about this on the other side. Hang tight.
Yeah, definitely the second one, that one.
I mean, you're old, but you don't look old. Probably because you're dyeing your hair.
Do you know how fast you were going?
Pretty fucking fast if you caught me in this thing.
Tell you what.
Tell you what. Tell you what.
That one cracks me up so much. And that one right there, like, I'm a huge fan of the Coen brothers, and so that was kind of my thank you to the Coens for Raising Arizona and No Country for Old Men and stuff like that. Big Quentin Tarantino influences, and I think it comes out in that because I come from Texas and I live in the Southwest, so obviously a road movie from Vegas to Texas makes sense.
That does make perfect sense. Which is your favorite Coen brother movie? I need to know now because I'm also a huge fan.
Raising Arizona.
Fair. Nicolas Cage, can't go wrong.
It is a masterpiece. It is an absolute masterpiece.
Love it. Great.
All right. So Kelly says yes, Coen brothers. Tarantino, yes. Tiana says the trailer was a gift to me too, Cookie.
Tiana gets it.
And Just John says blood simple. All right. Take it away, Dr. Moore.
So one of the so let's get into the themes of the movie. What are the main themes behind the film? What were you trying to convey?
One of them is, and you'll see in the third trailer, is the addiction that it seems older millennials and Gen X has to nostalgia. And I'm Gen X. I am 51. And whenever I see my Gen X brethren wishing it was 1995, I'm like, what happened to y'all? I mean, what made life so difficult that you can't enjoy it now? And what makes you want to go back to a time when no one listened to you and no one cared, where now you actually have a voice and life experience, and it just makes me very curious. And the second part is, I have never seen people write so many notes about, if you could go back and talk to your younger self, what would you say to him? And that is the second majorosity theme in this one, because the main character, Buddy, he's going on this road trip because he had this incident that's a spoiler that happened in the Neon Vegas, and he's going to basically go heal himself because he can't work, he's upset, he can't do what he needs to do to generate his income. And the movie opens with his boss kind of getting on his case. And he's like, I need to go figure this out. And so that's the road trip, which I have done when I had a bout of burnout in 2014. I left Vegas. I had to drive back home and get answers. And that's essentially what he's done here.
And I think there is a big connection between nostalgia and like what you're talking about, like creating, like understanding your own identity and finding yourself within that, because it's so easy to, if you feel lost, to sort of fall back on like, oh, like this was a good time in my life, can I capture that again? But you know, I haven't seen the movie, but
yeah,
we have to move forward, right? Like we don't live in the past, you know, we live in the present. And so
yeah, so whenever he's looking in the rear view mirror, he sees that past version of him.
Mm-hmm.
And the trailers, they hint to that, but when it gets inside the movie, it gets very, very intense, very fast.
That's cool.
I think that's my favorite part of it so far. I mean, obviously I am like super excited to see the full thing, and the trailers have really piqued my interest, but I love the fact that you've used like that rearview mirror as like this whole symbolic thing, because it's the rearview mirror. You're looking at yourself, you know, you're looking at the younger self you're talking to, and that's like this whole super fascinating concept for me that I've explored multiple different times, because I don't know, I think about if I could go back to that time, and I've always told people like I don't have any desire to go back to that time. Like I appreciate looking back and seeing what that turned me into now, and I like who I am now, but the going back thing has never really been been of any interest to me. So the way that you've kind of flipped that whole concept on its head is just, I think it like super, super creative, super interesting, and very philosophical, even though that's not really your whole thing.
Yeah.
Let's see. We have to go to the comments here. We have Fport says straight on. You're doing well. Hi, Daniel has joined us. Frederick says,
Oh, Daniel.
so there's a personal element to it as well. Interesting.
Yeah, there's this route from Vegas to Central Texas. I've driven it several times, and there is a scene that part where Buddy's talking to the cop actually happened. Not the way it happened with him, but there's a scene with a cop that was taken from that actual road trip in 2014. Because it still blows my mind that I'm not sitting in an El Paso jail today, and you didn't hear that from me.
The best part of art is whenever it mirrors life.
Mm-hmm.
And so one thing that I always, like I find fascinating about AI is that it gives people creative freedom to be creative. And I think that's something that gets lost a lot today. Do you want to talk about that at all?
Yes,
you know what I mean, right? Yeah.
One major part that I keep seeing, and there's going to be anti-AI people. That's fine. They're not my audience. The thing that I see with a lot of people who are using AI is they are using it to showcase the tool itself, where I'm like, no, I have this story to tell.
Mhm.
And so I've been writing for over 40 years. I don't know how many millions of words I've written, but to be able to focus more on the storytelling and just have the tool be a tool and not, oh, let's see what this cool thing can do, and let's see what this filter can do, and let's see what this prompt. I'm like, no, I have a story. It's told in a linear fashion, just like stories are told. And the way I learned how to make the images come to life is shown in 37. And it was all trial and error. And the tool was here to help me, not me show how cool 11 Labs is, or how cool Dance is, or how cool any of the generators are. It's like, no, it's about the story. It's about, it's not a Buddy movie. It's a movie about Buddy. And because too many people are focused on the tool and I want to focus on the story, that is a huge goal, is to show your story. F the tool, show your story. Find a way to do that in a way that fits you. Because there's elements to Dance where it doesn't look perfect. And you'll see that a lot of times it looks absolutely crazy. Like the Buddy character, he looks like 7 different people, because at this point I didn't know how to do character consistency. But with him, it's about presence. It's the same guy because he's wearing the same clothes throughout the whole thing. And so you can focus on the story instead of, oh, well, he doesn't look the same in the hotel as he does in El Paso. And then he looks different when it's like, who cares? It's the story, not how it looks. Just like it's the story and not how it was written, whether it was written by hand or on a typewriter or AI generated. It doesn't matter. Is the story good? Then who cares about the rest?
Yeah.
Like, everyone's focus is on the wrong thing, and it's for their own reasons, and they'll figure it out or they won't.
That's true.
I agree. One of my favorite things to say is that AI allows humans to be bigger. And I really do believe that, because if you look at just your case study only, you've produced this full 15-minute short, trailers and all. And just 2 years ago, that would not have been possible for a team of one. Like, that's what you've done is was an impossibility a year ago. Now all of a sudden it's possible, and now people who would not have otherwise been able to tell stories or make art or do these big elaborate things can do it, and I think that can only be good for humanity.
I am in 100% full agreement with that. No notes, full agreement.
And I think the other thing too, like in any film, like you're always suspending disbelief. I mean, I could probably pick apart every inconsistency in every film, but like what would be the point? Then I'm not enjoying the art, right? And so people need to
Yes.
recognize too that like this is new technology. It's not going to be perfect, but I can sit down and watch your 15-minute video and I can come away understanding the story. And if that story touches me in a way that art touches people, and it shifts perspective and it gives me something to think about, then that's art. It doesn't really matter how it came about. That was your creativity that you put out there, and
Right.
other people picked up on it.
And I was able to make this with 2 months worth of knowledge and 1 month's worth of implementation, where without this, I would have to hire actors, generate income to create it, insurance, cameras, lighting, all this kind of stuff that would be hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the financial outlay for this, under $100.
It makes creativity accessible to everybody.
It is
It does.
absolutely accessible.
Can we also talk about about what you just said? In addition to the fact that you made this phenomenal thing that is absolutely worth seeing, you also learned a completely new skill that you did not have previously.
Yeah,
And-
like in February, I did not know how to do this. And the first part of May, I had a movie.
Right. So not only does AI make creativity accessible, it also makes learning accessible in ways that's never been available to us as humans before. We can learn things. We can learn new skills. You know, over the last year, I've learned skills that I never even knew I wanted to learn, let alone had access to.
Yep. And this is where there's people who are afraid of AI, and they are well within the rights to have their reasons. I see this as a renaissance that is absolutely unparalleled to everyone who has a smartphone or a laptop and access to the internet. You can the gates are gone, and that scares some people. Me, I love it. I'm so here for it.
I'm here for it too.
Good.
It does terrify people. All right, so let's go over to comments again. Let's see. We've got Daniel says, if you can see the tool in the story isn't working, is it? Kelly says, that's why I love AI tools. And just Sean, Cookie, if it's not too personal or confidential, what? And you answered the question as I was typing it, which I find that Cookie actually is very good at doing. So,
oh, by the way, Kelly makes incredible videos and has a character named Johnny, who I think if Johnny came to the Neon Vegas, everyone would end up under the jail. And I love that for everyone. So yeah, everyone who's here, check out Kelly's work too.
Will do.
The music, the videos, absolutely amazing.
That is one of the things that I love about this platform. It's unlike a lot of other places, and sometimes it can be interesting, but a lot of the times you get to meet people and you get to see things that you would not otherwise be exposed to, and that is just a fantastic world to live in. All right, so let's go over to the final trailer, shall we?
Yes.
Anything we need to know about the final trailer before we pop into it?
Just make sure that it's run all the way to the beginning, because Substack has a little debut in there itself. Because I was searching for those notes of people who are, if you could go back and tell your younger self, blah, blah, blah. And so I screen captured some of those and put AI generated voices over them, and it's a great beginning. So it's got to go all the way to the start.
I really agree. I really enjoyed that. All right, let's pop over.
Have you ever
If you
thought
had the
what would you
chance
tell
to
your
your
younger
younger
self
self?
one piece
What
of
would that
Knowing
advice.
how
be?
much those years
What would it
shaped
be?
what came next.
Let me know.
I mean, the arms, man. What do you bench?
Listen here, young blood. Life puts weight on a man's body, puts it on his back. Before too long, you get the strength to lift anything.
So, like, 230? 240? Do you think they'd be proud of you?
That one's the poignant trailer of all of them.
It is. All right. So first of all, I have to that last part. This isn't a buddy movie.
Mhm.
So why end with that?
Because to the untrained, unknowing eye, it kind of does. It looks like two friends on a road trip to go wherever. And the main character's name is Buddy. So, yeah, it's not a buddy movie. It's a movie about Buddy, which I wrote in the second trailer, which I thought was terribly clever. And whoever is watching it, it might be one of those to watch it 2 times, just because some movies you may not get everything the first time, and there's some Easter eggs, and there's some really funny moments in there. It's not all seriousness. Like the joke where where Buddy says that line, life puts weight on a man's body, it puts it on his back. When I wrote that, I'm like, how would Matthew McConaughey sound saying this line? Because Matthew McConaughey is also from a small town in Texas, and he's the same age as Buddy, and so this was very channeled moment. I'm like, I could hear Matthew McConaughey saying that line, and then for the younger one in the rearview mirror to go, so what, you bench 230, 240? Like, that kid can't even hear you. You can have, like, the wisdom coming out of your mouth. He ain't going to hear you. He's 18. He don't know anything. And he's not going to listen. He don't know. And so that's the biggest point I want to make with that. If you could give a piece of your advice, they're not going to hear you. They don't have the life experience to understand what it means that life puts weight on a man's back. But in the movie, it shows the weight that Buddy had to carry.
Yeah, that goes back a lot to what I was saying earlier. Is that's the whole point, right? Because if you if you sit there and say, what would I do differently if I was younger and I knew now? Well, the answer is always absolutely fucking nothing, because I didn't have the context back then, so
Exactly.
I couldn't do anything differently. So nostalgia is fantastic as far as memories and remembering and learning who you used to be and where you are now, but it changes absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it can turn into a trap, and that's a trap that people in Gen X and millennials, unfortunately, I see them falling into it and they can't get out, and I find that very sad. And it's like, no, life right now is absolutely amazing. You have the holodeck in your pocket and you're crying about it. Kidding me?
That is fantastic.
So I want to shift focus for a minute away from the movie back towards Cookie, because you are on this platform very anonymously, as we can all tell from the video. I just want to talk about that. Like, what made you choose to be anonymous? Why did you choose that? And how has that been freeing to you? Has it been difficult? Talk about that. I'd love to know more.
I've had faced accounts at several platforms in the past, so I do have my face on social media. Cookie is kind of an experiment with a faceless account. I do have a digital business under my government name that I run, and I just didn't want the two streams to meet. Just as a personal preference, Cookie is more artistic. The artistic side of me, where the government name is what allows Cookie to exist and make the movies. So um, that I do have a day job, and also I have been able to do these movies with a full-time job. You know, I don't come home and look at TV. I don't come home and doom scroll all night. I come home, I have a snack, I open the laptop, and I'm on it for 5 hours because that's what I choose to do. And I understand that there's people who have kids, who have a husband. I don't have either, so I'm in a unique position where I can dedicate those hours, and I acknowledge that not everyone can do that. But if you do an audit of your time and there's something that you want to do that's creative, that a new thing you want to learn, you can do that. I know I veered off a little bit, but that the whole time constraint thing. You guys talk to me, you know that I am a 100% excuse free zone. If you want to do something, find a way, or you'll
Yes.
find an excuse. And I know that's a cliche, but it exists for a reason. And Cookie exists from the artistic side to show that you can do it if you really want to. And if you wanted to, you would. And my government name account, like I said, funds my ability to do this. So I got to keep them separate. But I do, under the government name and my business, I create digital products because I often talk about courses, and I'm a complete marketing heretic. Every piece of marketing that I've learned over the last 4 years, I hate, and I'm in the process of helping people unlearn it and undo all the damage that's been done. And those are the products that I create. And there are products that I would create here under Cookie for more artistic endeavors for the writers here at this app regarding marketing, regarding writing, and some of them aren't even AI related because I was writing for over 40 years without AI. I don't use AI to write. I use it to do image gen and video rendering. That's what I use it for. But everything I write came out of my brain.
That's awesome.
And there's bonsai effect. Lovely. Yeah, everyone in here is like very, very cool.
Yes.
I'm glad to hear it. We love having cool people around.
Absolutely.
Kelly
They're all
says,
very
"I
cool.
love you, Cookie." We'll say hi to Red. We'll say hi to Evan. The Bonsai Effect. Hi. Let's see. Daniel says, "Nice to have freedom to explore your voice. The clarity and unhinged quality is what drew me towards your posts." I have to agree with that, Daniel. I was talking about that before the show started, and that's one of the things that I love about Cookie the most, because every time she responds or she replies to one of my notes, I absolutely know that I will have to actually think about it before I reply to it. And sometimes that thinking process involves quite a bit of time. Like sometimes I'll just like open my app, see that there's a comment from Cookie, and then turn around and be like, okay, so I need some time to actually process that and think about what my actual answer is. And I love that because that is that's rare, and it's very refreshing.
Cool. So I know that I can come off very strong, and I know that I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I might be someone's shot of Jaeger, but it's just, you know, on an app that continuously yaps about authenticity, it's like, okay, well, here it is. Oh, wait, don't do it like that. Do it the way I'm used to. Like, man, shut up.
Too many cookie cutter people out there.
Yeah, I'm not for that.
Well, it's true. Like if you appeal to a broad audience, then good for you. You're like everybody else. If you appeal
Yep.
to a a narrow audience, a niche audience, then good for you. You created something new and exciting, and that's
Mhm.
that really is the way that it works and the way that it is. And that's what
Yeah.
that's one of the few metrics that I actually hold myself to is, am I staying unique, fresh? And I think Cookie is probably the person who does that, without even flinching or thinking.
I attribute that to 20 years spent in kitchens in the restaurant industry, where the real you will come out, and it's better that the sooner the better, because if like there's no real place for politeness in the kitchen. I've worked in taverns, I've worked in fine dining, and it's all the same. Just the only thing that changes is the food. Don't let anyone fool you.
Noted.
I actually grew up in the restaurant industry. My father was a manager of a restaurant all of my young life, so I spent a lot of time, behind the doors in the kitchen, hearing everything that goes on. So I can
Yep.
relate to that.
You get
It's
it.
very eye opening.
Yep.
So tell people, where can they find the movie? When's it coming out? Let us know about what's going on there so we all are well informed leaving.
All right.
this podcast.
So the debut of 37 Miles Back, it comes out on June 2nd, and it's in a premiere status right now for the first 30 people who indicated their interest. And so they're subscribers only. They're going to be individually DM'd because Substack doesn't have a way that I found to
It
do
does not.
a group chat that, like, bro needs to get on that so we can have private rooms of just whoever we want. So everyone's going to get an individual DM with the movie, and it's going to be available for them to watch for 5 days, and then I'm deleting it. Just this, y'all love nostalgia. It's just like Blockbuster. You get it for 5 days, and then you got to send it back. It's 15 minutes long. Find 15 minutes in 5 days to watch it. That's how I see it. It's a little bit of marketing urgency. But
That's smart. You got to give people a deadline these days. Otherwise, sometimes
you have to. It'll
you
just
won't
sit
get
there
to it. Yeah.
and do nothing. Because my long form of 37 and the other ones that are going to come out, those are eventually going to be paywalled. I am figuring out distribution right now with my business partner. And he's given me a lot of suggestions as far as countdowns. I would be using Ko-Fi or coffee, the Buy Me a Coffee, so people can buy tickets, and then I can send them the link that would have, you have 3 days to watch this, and then it goes bye-bye. And if you miss it, you're SOL. You should have watched it. You said you wanted it. You should watch it. And so these are all details that I'm figuring out right now. I've toyed with the idea of selling tickets and then getting everyone in the room on a Zoom call and all watching it at the same time.
Oh, that would be really cool.
See, these are things that I think of. No one's teaching me this shit. I'm thinking this stuff myself with the help of my business partner. I'm like, how can we do this? And he's like, you could do this, this, and this. I'm like, all right, well, let's figure that out. And I also do the short videos that are like under 2 minutes, between 16 seconds to 2 minutes, that are free here. And it's like, here's the free content. You want to watch the long stuff that's cost me over $100 to make? Throw $2 at me, throw $3 at me so I can continue to make them. Because the shit is not free.
Yeah.
It's fun, but it ain't free.
That is a very good point that I don't think that anybody really really does a good job of talking about is the cost. Not only is the time valuable, because I mean, like, time has actual value to it, right? But also the amount of money that it takes to actually do this stuff is not small. Just because you're doing it with AI, just because you don't have to pay a team of actors, doesn't mean you're not actually still putting cost into it, and that cost has to be recouped in some way or another in order to be able to continue doing it. And it's wonderful for us to all have our principles and our laurels and our artist free, artist accessible. And I do believe that. I do believe that art should be accessible to everybody. But also at the same time, I have to be able to buy groceries.
Yeah.
If you want art, you have to support artists to some degree.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's where I think the Ko-fi, the buy me a coffee, buy me credits, mama needs credits, this kind of stuff. I think that's really good because, I'm not asking for the world. I'm not asking an $18 ticket price to watch a 15-minute movie because that's insane. But like, throw $3, throw $5, because 11 Labs, I wrote all this out. 11 Labs is $5 a month. ChatGPT is 20. Cdance is about 24. And so every month it's costing me about $55 to make these movies. And like I said earlier, if I take something to Cdance and it's a shot that takes 16 to 18 credits because it's got voice in it and it's 6 seconds long, and Cdance completely messes it up, I have to do it again. Yeah. I have to do it again. And it's like, the better I get at it, the less it's going to cost me, but there's still a financial cost to it.
Yes. And that will always be the case.
Yeah. Kelly, people don't think. That's the problem. They have no idea. And also the thing, well, it's a 2-minute video. How much can it, it took me 10 hours to make a 2-minute video. And then they'll tell me I suck at it. I'm like, all right, homie, show me yours. Oh, I don't use AI. All right, well then shut your pie hole. It's like, this is why I don't make videos for haters. I make them for the people who want to see it. I make it for the audience who thinks I'm cool, who thinks what I'm doing is cool. And they're the ones who I care about more. Like, I know I'm not going to win over some Luddite who thinks I'm ruining the world. I don't care.
We're not here for world popularity. No one is.
Hell no. Sean.
All right. Well, unfortunately, we are out of time. Any last thoughts for us, Cookie, before we go?
Yeah, I shouted out Kelly. I also want to shout out to Just Sean. His music is crazy, and he made a song for me, I think within the last week. What was it called? 9 Lives, and it's absolutely unbelievable. He's a great collaborative co-creator. I just want to thank y'all for taking a chance on me and helping spread the word about 37. And even though the first showing is for the first 30 people, there are going to be other opportunities coming up for other people to see it, because I want people to see it. It's freaking cool, and I love it. I watch it every night. I swear to God, I do.
I love that.
As you should. All right, everybody in the comments, if you have any work of your own that you'd like to share with the rest of the world after this goes to our posts, if you'll please put that information in the comments. We would absolutely love to see it. That would be super helpful. I especially want to hear this song, apparently, that was done. That should totally be linked in the comments.
It is crazy. Yeah, Sean, drop it in the comments. Drop 9 Lives in the comments.
Please do.
All right. And then, so to check out Cookie's work, make sure you visit feralcookie.substack.com. For Dr. Morton's work, seek your scoop, drmorton.substack.com. My own work, Dear Future Overlords, dearfutureoverlords.com. Thank you all for joining us. It was a fantastic time. Thank you, Cookie, for being with us today. This was just a phenomenal episode that
was
I'm
awesome.
totally going to have to go back and rewatch a couple of times. Dr. Morton, as always, it was a pleasure to see you. We will see you all in 2 weeks. Our guest is to be decided at this point. Have a wonderful night, a wonderful morning, or a wonderful afternoon, depending on where you joined us from. Adios.
Y'all take care.